Hey guys, well, welcome back to my channel. Well, here I am, like I had promised, recording the story of how I lost baby Isaac. So let's get started. Like I had told you guys in the last video that I did uploaded, that I was having my gender reveal, and that was at around 15 weeks if I remember clearly. So that was at 15 weeks and everything came out perfect. And leave a comment down below if you guys do want to see clips and pictures of my gender reveal. I did take my camera, but I forgot my battery at home because it was not in my house, so that was a bummer. But I do believe that I have clips and pictures of that day. My sisters did an amazing job. I also want to tell like a little bit of a little story behind the gender reveal of the way that I saw things. So leave a comment down below if you guys do want to see that. But anyway, so the gender reveal was amazing. And so that day was perfect. Everything turned out great. We found out that it was a boy, which was what I really wanted. I wanted a boy. I always picture myself just having boys, you know. At this point, I do think that having a girl would also be amazing. But when I was pregnant with Isaac, just something in my heart told me that I just really wanted a boy. So we found out that he was a boy. And so that was, you know, me and my husband were and still are over the moon to know that, you know, our Isaac was finally coming. And he's, you know, because we had this names picked out for a couple years now. So we were just so over the moon. Like, we were just so happy. Words cannot even explain. So time goes on. You know, I was doing my daily my daily stuff, I guess. I don't know, whatever. And one day, I had no pain, no nothing. I woke up and I felt, I don't know, it was just like more, there was something going on down there. That's how as far as I'm gonna take it. And so I was like, okay. I messaged my husband and I said, hey, I'm having lots of clear discharge. And so he was like, are you in pain? And I said, no. And so I guess he went to Dr. Google and figured that it was normal to have clear discharge. So I said, okay. As the day goes on, I went to the restroom again, and this discharge got white. So then a couple hours later, I texted him again. I said, hey, now my discharge is white. And he was like, Dr. Google again. And he was like, babe, it's fine. It says that it's normal. So I was like, okay. I was in no pain, no blood. So I wasn't as worried at all. I really wasn't worried. But around later on, he was actually already on his way home, I believe. It was around 4 or 5 o'clock. I went back to the restroom and this discharge had turned light brown or something like that, but it wasn't a lot, but it was definitely there. So at this point, I didn't text or call my husband anymore. I text my sister, which she already has a baby, Aiden. So I messaged her and I said, hey Anna, this is going on, this has been going on, you know, today. And I said, do you think it's normal? And she was like, well, that's exactly how my labor started with Aiden, or something like that, she said. And she was like, for me it was good because she was overdue, I believe. And so she said, for me it's good, but for you, I think you should go to the hospital. And so I was like, okay. I trusted her judgment. So I was like, okay. So I was, okay, I'm coming to the hospital. And so she also offered to come with me. But at that point, I get so anxious that I want to get things done now. And so I think she was eating or cooking or one of those two. So I was like, no, I'm leaving. I'm going now. So I called my husband and I said, hey, I'm going to the hospital. And he was like, babe, I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's nothing. And I was like, I'm still going. I want to make sure that my baby's okay and everything's good. And we were not thinking nothing of it. Like, I wasn't thinking I'm about to lose my baby. That was never going through my head. So I left to the hospital, which is about 15 minutes away from my house. And I told them what was going on. It was actually, the emergency room was really empty. It was like 3 people in there when it's usually like 20. So so they called me in really quick and they checked my blood pressure and all of that. And when they took me inside the room, the ultrasound technician did come really quick, and he came first. But my husband was on the way to the hospital. He did not make it to the ultrasound. And when the lady was doing the ultrasound, I was able to see Isaac moving around. He was so active. I was able to see him moving around and stuff. So I just, I didn't think there was nothing wrong, because I saw him and I was like, okay, thank you, God, everything's good. Then the ultrasound technician was like, okay, well, we're going to take you back to your room. A doctor will come and talk to you. So I said, okay, what, the doctor is just going to let me know that everything's fine. So then at this point, my husband was already in the room that they had me in, and the doctor came in a little bit later, and he said, well, your cervix is opening. It's about a fingertip open. And so he was like, we already called someone from labor and delivery, and we're going to take you up there, and more than likely you're going to be in the hospital 2 or 3 days. And I was like, oh, it's that serious, huh? Like, and me and my husband were shocked. And he was like, like he made it sound really bad. I don't clearly remember his words, because I think that when you get news like that, you instantly get numb and then you don't hear anything else. So I don't really remember exactly, but I know that I started crying. I started calling everyone, and I was just like, I think I'm about to lose him. So then, my sisters, thank God for them, and my brother-in-laws, they came over instantly to the hospital, and I was in a really beautiful room, actually, a really big one, because there was a lot of us in there. We were in there, and they instantly said I was gonna be in bed rest. And I, because they didn't want to put more pressure on my cervix, and they said that my cervix was a fingertip open, so that there was going to be a specialist to come in tomorrow and see my options. And they were thinking of a cerclage. So then the specialist came in the next day, after having me on bed rest, and she said, so here's the options. If your water doesn't break, and if everything looks good, if you don't have an infection, then we can go ahead and do the cerclage. She did explain, a cerclage is a stitch that they put to close your cervix and prevent it from keep opening and preventing from the baby to come down. So she said, we can do the cerclage. And the only side effect is that we can we can break your water, or you can get an infection. And but other than that, if everything looks good, like if you're a candidate to do the cerclage, then we'll just go ahead and do it, and this might be good. So me and my husband were pushing for the cerclage. I went in the hospital. It was a Friday. So I was there all Saturday, and I got my cerclage put in Sunday morning. So we went and we did the surgery. It's the procedure, not surgery. And I got the cerclage in. We were so happy. We were so thankful that we had this specialist who's willing to do the cerclage, because that's a big deal. I know a lot of people wouldn't do it. The only thing that obviously I instantly got on a Facebook group and stuff like that, and they all told me to ask for progesterone. The sad part about that is that they won't give you progesterone unless you already had one loss. So now I'm officially high risk. I'm going to have a cerclage and progesterone. Now I qualify because I lost my son, which I find it very stupid. I'm sorry, but anyways, I don't want to have those feelings again. So the specialist said, well, no, we can't do progesterone unless you had one loss, but everything looks good. As soon as I came out from the procedure, they checked the baby's heartbeat. The baby was there. I was already feeling him move. At this point, I was 17 weeks pregnant. And so they told me I can go home, be on bed rest, and then my OB will keep checking me and keeping an eye on my pregnancy. And so we were just so thankful to God. We were so confident. We were just, everything's good. Like this baby is a miracle, as you guys saw in my how I found out I'm pregnant story. This baby was a miracle since day one. So we knew he was here to stay. God sent him. God did this miracle for a reason. So he's here to stay. That's what I felt. That's what I thought in my heart. Like God wouldn't have never done all this way if Isaac was not here to stay. So, everything looked good. So now I'm home where I'm on bed rest. Now, they just told me I'm bleeding because they said I was going to have some spotting and all of that. So my husband will walk me to the bathroom and, and make sure that everything looked good down, everything was going good. But I was having bleeding for every day, and it wasn't bad. It was very light, but they told me that it was normal. So that happened, and I really don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. So I was in bed rest. Everybody was taking care of me, if I needed something. If I needed something, then they will bring in my sister's food, whatever was it that I needed. Everybody was here for me. But obviously people have to live their lives. So one day my husband, I'll say about 5 days after I got my cerclage in, my husband really needed to cut the grass, or wanted to cut the grass, I believe. And he was like, babe, I'm gonna go cut the grass. You seem fine. I said, I'm fine. Stop over exaggerating. Like, I'm okay. The baby's okay. We're okay. And so he went on and cut the grass, and I needed to use the restroom. I feel like I needed to pee. And when I went to the restroom, I had lots of blood. I was bleeding really heavy. So I started calling his name and I started yelling for him. He couldn't hear his phone because he was cutting the grass. So, that machine is loud. And I was finally able to get his attention. And I said, hey, Chris, I'm bleeding a lot. Like, my pajamas were soaked in blood. So we rushed to the hospital where the doctor saw me, and she said that I had gotten an infection, that she had to remove my cerclage. And so she did. And she told me that my water had broke. And she said that she could give me a medication to determine the pregnancy, because the baby had no chances. Because now my water was broken. But we were like, no, we're not going to take anything. We'll go home and wait until I'm assuming until he's ready. And so we went home, and obviously doing research, we were fighting for our son's life. We want him here. What can we do to save him? So we've Googled, and we found out that if you drink lots of fluid, if you drink Powered, if you drink all this stuff, that you can fill up your water sac again. And there has been lots of babies who have made it even when the water was broken. So I was still on bed rest with my legs up, drinking lots of fluid, and so hopeful and so thankful to God, and fighting for this child's life, because as his parents, we were going to do anything to try to save him. And Isaac, and God knows that me and my husband did. And we fought until the end. And so that happened. Chris's dad was supposed to fly in a Saturday. He was coming to visit Chris for the first time, and here to Washington. And so he was supposed to go to the airport and pick him up. And obviously Chris had so much anxiety to go, but my sister offered to take care of me and stay here with me. So Chris and my brother-in-law went to the airport to pick up my father-in-law. And they even called me when they got to after they picked him up, if I wanted tacos. And I was like, yeah, some tacos sound so good right now, actually. So they went to get tacos, and we all had tacos together. My sister Anna, which was the one taking care of me, she left like around 11:30, I'll guess, that day. And and we were just talking. I don't even remember that clearly about what, but we finished talking, and then I was in the couch, and I told Chris, hey, I'm gonna go put on my pajamas, but I'm just gonna use the restroom. And go to sleep, because it's already late. I'm tired. And I think and also I was thinking to give him and his dad some space, because they haven't seen each other in a while. So I walked to my restroom, and I used the restroom. And when I clean, if you're a girl, you know how we clean ourselves. I felt something like a rock, like if there was a rock there. But obviously I knew it wasn't a rock. I started yelling for my husband. I'm sorry, guys. I did not want to cry. And I said, hey, I was yelling for him. And I said, I think the baby's here. I think the baby's coming out. And he was like, lay on the bed. And I was like, check me, because I think the baby's coming out. And I laid on the bed, and he was like, let me see, let me check you. So he took off my pants, and when he checked me, he was like, that's the baby's little feet. And he started yelling, that's the baby's little feet. That's the baby's little feet. So he called 911, and I called my sisters, and I told them, like, I'm losing him. If you guys want to come meet him. And so my sister and I had just left, so she instantly came right back. I didn't see her though. I didn't see her because the ambulance got here so fast, which was amazing. They got here so fast. They got here so fast. They they carried me inside the ambulance, which at this point, I was closing my eyes. I was praying to God, and I was just like, God, why? Why? Why do I have to give him up? Why does he have to go? And I was holding my stomach. And I was holding my stomach, and I was like, please, baby, don't come out. Get back in there somehow. Obviously, that's not a thing, but I was just like, no, 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 no. And I was just yelling, no, this cannot be happening to me. Like, there's just no. So the ambulance people put me inside, and I know they're not the ambulance people, but I can't think of what we call them. And it was 3 guys, and one of the guys was like, let's, what, I don't know if the driver asked or if somebody asked through the microphone. I don't remember. But he asked something. I guess they use code. I mean, they have codes to know. And the guy was like, I have to check you. And so he checked me. And then he said, 1 inch. He yelled, 1 inch, around 1 inch. So I knew the baby was around 1 inch out, I'm assuming. And then my baby was so good to me. This was not painful. I had no pain, nothing. And I think it was just my anxiety, and I was just holding my stomach, and I was just yelling, no, no, no. And, and the guy said, we have to give birth to him. Like, we're gonna start setting up in case we have to give birth to him. And I said, I'm not giving birth to my baby in an ambulance. I called my doctor because I had her direct cell phone number. So I called her and I said, hey, I'm coming. And she's like, I'm here, come in, we'll have a room ready for you. So when I got there, everybody opened the door. Everybody was already expecting me. So as soon as they put me inside labor and delivery, my doctor was there waiting for me. And she was like, okay, Triana, let me check you. And she checked me, and she was like, okay. That's all she said. And then she put me in the pushing position, and she was like, okay, we're gonna start to push. And he was born, like, I don't know, I think I pushed for like 15 minutes. I don't know. Time went by so fast doing all this. And he was born October 13th, Saturday, October 13th at 1:21 a.m. And he was beautiful. He looked just like his dad. And that was it for him. He was born breathing, and he took his last breath in my husband's arm. He did spend all that whole morning with me and my husband. Thank God for that. I left home the next day around 10-11 in the morning, and we had to say goodbye to him. And that's how I lost my baby. That's just the story of that day. And it was all because I don't know why. I said I wasn't going to cry. But yeah, guys, that's how it all happened. It sucks to have to think back of that day, but it's also beautiful to think of him. And I know he's here. I know he's here with me, and I know right now he's here hugging me and kissing me and telling me, Mommy, it's okay. I will never know my son's first cry, my son's first word, his first smile. I will never know. But God is good, and I still have faith, and I know this is not it. I know this is not it, and it's not easy. I am still grieving. I'm still working with myself, but I know, but I'm a little bit better, thank God. But yeah, guys, that's the story of how I lost my baby. If you guys have any requests or any other video requests or any other questions or anything that you guys would like to know, feel free to comment down below. I will leave my social media like always. Feel free to message me, and I am not putting this video out here to hear stories or to, you know, for you guys to feel bad for myself. I already went through all that and I'm okay. I am mainly putting this video out there for me to help you guys, for me to help anybody, hopefully nobody though, that is going through this. Anybody that needs to talk to me, anybody that would like to know, I don't know, just anybody that I can help. If it's one person, that's good enough. But thank you so much for watching this. I'm sorry, I promise I did have my tissue box ready though, because just in case, and I used one tissue, so so that was good, not too bad. I'll see you guys in my next video. Me and my husband are going to film a video together of what we did to cope and to still keep our son's memory alive, because that's my goal, to keep his memory alive every single day. And so we will share that for any of those who need help with that. We'll share a little bit of that and how we're still working on it, on this every single day, and how are we working on grieving every single day, because we are at a different stage now. We did lose him in October, so that's 3 months ago, which it's a little bit of time, you know, almost 3 months, almost 4 months ago. So we are at a different stage though of our grieving, but we would love to help any couple who needs to hear whatever we have to say, who is sadly going through this. We would love to help anyone. But I'll see you guys in my next video, and I miss you guys so much. I do enjoy making these videos, but I hope you guys understand why I didn't upload any videos. But I will see you guys more often now, because I do want to keep filming. I love you guys, and God bless you guys all, and see you guys in my next video. Bye.